What time is it? Your show. Yeah, what time is it? Your show. Yeah, what time is it? Your show. Yeah, he's back from the dead. Your show. Putting it on the map, yeah. Saskatoon. Right next to New York. New York. Yeah, what show, yeah. Your show. What time is it? Your show. Yeah, time to talk some shit, yeah. Your show.
You've tuned in, yeah.
Yeah, fun Maggie. Bark, bark, wolf, wolf, who wants a treat, yeah? Keep listening.
Hello and welcome in to the Friday edition of your show. So close to the weekend. This is the finish line of your work week. So happy to have you here. My name is Gary. I am your host, and this show, this little rascal, is, as far as we know, the only show still going live 4 to 5 p.m. Monday to Friday, originating in Saskatoon. And that makes us different and makes it special. And always so grateful and thankful to have you along for this crazy ride as we continue to try to put the good things back out there to the world. We try to do good things and have them happen to us. That's the big rally cry around here. Lift each other up, no bringing people down. It's not what we're about. And it seems to be working. So thank you again for allowing us to get out here and do all the silly stuff that we do. And to thank you, we always love to pay you with the greatest camera in the history of cameras. And today she hit her spot perfect, and she is ready. Ladies and gentlemen, say hello to the Maggie Cam. Look at that. Look at that rascal, hey? She looks like she's done with the work week, too. She's ready for a weekend. The Maggie Cam, proudly brought to you by our fantastic pals over at Pet Planet on 8th Street. They are your pet's natural grocer. I'm telling you, we talk about it all the time. Good people, local businesses doing good things. Mike and Rochelle, they run the place. That's what they're all about. They also have a greeting dog named Leroy. Leroy's got his bed right by the door, so when you walk in, he'll let you know what's up. And he walks up to the till, and Maggie's just thinking, you said my boyfriend's name. Maggie and Leroy are dating. Oh, she's about to go off into puppy sleep town. So when Maggie walks in there, she helps herself to a bunch of treats. I try to tell her not to because there's buckets full everywhere. They're on sale on Tuesdays, and the best damn treats you will ever have. And this is why we love Mike and Rochelle so much, because Marge, she'll sneak one here or there and say, oh, don't worry about it. She can have one. It's all good. And so she always loves going in there. Then Leroy walks her around, and while we're doing that, we go through the whole store because there's so many things there for you. They got the buckle-up collars and leashes, so hot right now, matching. Okay, I got the Marvel one right here, and they got SpongeBob's, they got Flintstones, they got like Breaking Bad, so all sorts of things that you love for movies and TV and cartoons and all that. It's all there, as well as all the normal collars and the leashes, the long ones that pull, everything you need for your animal. They also got all the pets. Sorry, Marge, I knocked over the book. All the toys you can imagine. Marge always loves to try and pick some out, and then we have to sort of narrow it down because she ends up with a big pile of toys. But they have from like the little tiny ones to the giant, huge ones and everything in between. They also got the cleaning station where you just walk right in, right through the back. And it's a big, giant container. You throw your pup in there, harness him in, and then you shampoo, you rinse, you blow dry. It's all there, contained in one little place. It's the best spa for your animal in Saskatoon. And then right beside the spa are a bunch of fridges. And in those fridges are the raw foods if you're looking to change your animal to the raw food diet. Then, as you continue to walk around, they got the beds, they got the crates, they got all the dry foods you can ever imagine. Then they have a whole row full of clothing for your animal and jerseys and all that fun stuff. They got a row full of medicines. They got literally everything you need. And if they, by chance, do not somehow have something, they will order for you because they are that kind of people. Very, very good people doing great things. That's what it's all about. That's who we like to work with, and that's why we love our friends. All right, over at Pet Planet on 8th Street. They're also open after hours and on weekends, thanks to Kirsten and Chris. Go by, say hello, and I promise you your life will change for the better. That's only at Pet Planet on 8th Street. They are your pet's natural grocer as Marge slowly drifts off. There she goes. Look at that. Yeah, there it is. Oh, that's beautiful. Ooh, could do a whole show just like this, the Maggie Cam. Maybe one day we will. But today is not that day. Good sports. New episodes every Thursday. Simon Hyatt, our main man from the All the Way Round Table on Wednesdays, he joined Flats. We're going to play a little bit of that for you a little bit later. But before that, we're going to bring in our one guest today, as Hardcore, our normal trivia master for the Friday Fun Table, is out at a golf tournament And some other people who were supposed to come in couldn't make it in, but we got my man. Mostly because we're about to stream tonight after we do CCO. Ladies and gentlemen, from the BBO and the CCO and the YTC and so much more, his name is Uncle Brando!
Hello. I can eat with chopsticks, it turns out.
Dude.
Apparently that's something that's new.
I don't think it's new. It's just, like, I feel like you're about on the same level of being cultured as I am. And I've tried the chopstick, and I cannot figure it out, dude. I just can't. And you were like a samurai in there.
Yeah, man. I don't do it right, like the way that they.
You do it your own way.
But I had a friend in high school that like showed me the basics of how like they work, and I didn't understand any of it. He was just like, "Here, watch this," and he just grabs them like, pop, 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 and he's picking up stuff. I was like, "Okay, dude, like that's not how that works. Like, what's the principle? The principle of what you're doing is well, you hold a stick so it doesn't move, then you use the other stick to like
move,
squeeze it on something, to like squeeze something, and then you put it in your mouth. And then it's like, okay, so I hold the stick so it doesn't move, and I squeeze it with the other stick. It's perfect. It's like heathen stuff, right? Like it doesn't make any sense.
It was one of those classic moments where it's like, dude, you use chopsticks? You're like, yeah, of course. Like it's nothing.
Why not?
You were like Daniel's son from Karate Kid.
Oh, yeah, I can catch flies and stuff.
Yeah, that wouldn't have surprised me. That's what I mean. That's sort of the standard you set.
I'm so fast.
He's so good with those chopsticks. It is Friday. We're hanging out, and we got some stuff we're going to get to. I want to know from you before that. Tonight, we are doing the Twitch. We will promo it a little bit later, but we're switching game.
We are. So we finished our Final Fantasy VI. No grind, Gary's very first playthrough of the game last weekend.
Let's touch on that for a second because
I didn't think we were going to make it. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
We wiped 2 times on the same spot in like the same way.
Yeah.
Just some bad RNG plus some like we just weren't
really
prepared.
Bad. Everyone is very low level.
Yeah, and I was not expecting us to get through that, and we did. And it was a nail biter. And actually, I watched it back.
Finish line.
I watched the replay back on YouTube, which you could as well.
Check it out.
And the genuine surprise on all of our faces when Kefka went down was like it was thrilling to me, and I was there.
We couldn't believe it.
No, we were astounded that we got through that.
We were waiting. Phenom on the ones and Tuesday. Say hello, Phenom. Look at this. Where is he at? There. Well, there he is. Yeah. So it was the 3 of us going through, and I kept saying, "No, that can't be it. There has to be more. There has to be more because it keeps going next level, next level, next level. You're going through." All you got the hell, then you got the purgatory, then you're in heaven, and then Kefka comes down, and it's like, this is nuts. And you did it.
We did it. We got there together. The power of friendship and just getting real lucky.
That's really the big one. Yeah, and we didn't think it was going to happen. It's such a sophisticated final bass bottle. Bass bottle?
Bass bottle, yes.
Bass bottle. I'm standing by it. That's a new one.
Take a fish and you put it into an old drink container. And
then you push the button and he goes, hey-oh, and he sings. I love those singing basses. So we are on to our next game as Final Fantasy VI joins the graveyard with many other games.
Yeah, Cowboy Kid, Contra 1 and 2.
Awesome. Yep.
What else did we do? Little Ninja Brother or Little Ninja Kid?
Super Ninja Boy.
Super Ninja Boy.
Nailed Little Ninja Kid.
Got there. Star Tropics.
That was the other one we always forget. Yeah.
And I'm sure there was another one, but like we've been through. We took R-Type Final. Me and Phenom did one day while you were out golfing. So like we've got some clout to our name, and we're going to start Chrono Trigger this week.
Very excited.
I think when you talk about SNES RPGs with your typical retro RPG fan,
number 1,
it's always Final Fantasy 3/6 or Chrono Trigger. Yeah. For the average human, lots of people kind of have their. I like Secret of Mana. I like Earthbound.
Yeah. Right.
Like, but I think as far as like mainstream games go, that's the one. We're going to take it a little bit easier this time. It's Phenom's first playthrough, so I've gone through the game once already. Just put everybody in the dirt.
Yeah.
And Phenom will have a nice, fresh New Game Plus file. So we're going to kind of just experience the story and the wonder of the game for the first time without any of the bull crap. Because believe me, there's nothing left in this game that's going to give us any shit, which I'm really excited about. You will never feel the way I felt.
Yes, you did the pain so we don't have to.
Yes.
And the big thing with Chrono Trigger, I was watching some stuff on it, and like all the biggest names of RPGs, right? All the different guys, like Final Fantasy guys and like the Secret of Mana guys, all these guys came together, and they were like, apparently the story is they were at a convention, like, hey, we should do a game together. Like, yeah, maybe we will. And then they got together, huddled up, and decided to make like a time travel game, but they wanted to make it different. And then sort of these three incredible minds came together to make this masterpiece of a game.
And they got their other best composer that they had
Yeah.
working at the and
So cool.
And they ended up making. I don't like it as much as Final Fantasy VI, but I can certainly see why people do.
Yes.
It's an excellent game. That's. I mean, and it's received so little love in the.
I think that's
in
the
the
big story when you talk about it. It's like, man, everyone acknowledges this as one of like the masterpieces of gaming. Yeah, it doesn't get into that next sort of level.
They refused to remaster it. They did like a sequel and a half to it, and the sequel or the one sequel has never been released over here. Then the other one, Chrono Cross, has been remastered and re-released, and it has its
See,
own
I've never even
following,
played that one.
right? And
Yeah.
it's fine. There's nothing wrong with it. I think that had it not been called Chrono Cross and had it just been called like Surge's Island Adventure, probably it might have actually done better.
Hello Kitty fun time.
Because nobody would have been. I was one of the people that played it thinking it was a Chrono Trigger sequel,
Yeah.
and then I was disappointed. Even though the game was really good, I had to play it again later to appreciate
get
that on
into
its
it,
own.
yeah.
It was a cool game, right?
I'm with you.
But like, there's no time travel. There's no Chrono Marl. There's no Luca. There's just nobody. You know what I mean? There's barely any connection. When you look like, where does this happen in the world of Chrono Trigger? They like show a world map with a little red circle, and it's like it happens on these islands right here. It's like,
How does that even work, bro?
what? But all good. And I
Yeah.
think that we're going to kick that off this week. It's going to be a nice. I'm going to say it's going to take us 3-4 weeks just because I'm going to try my best not to like tell Phenom what to do and just let him do it.
Let him explore.
And we're going to
He's
find
questing.
there's frogs, there's cavemen, there's robots, there's lasers, there's
Everything.
explosion, there's action. And I think it's going to be a lot of fun for everybody.
Combo moves too, which are very fun.
Yes.
Yes, so we'll be getting into that. I told you earlier, I went to this game very late. I got an emulator, and then this was right when emulators came out on the PC, and then I was doing walkthroughs. So I would go on the internet, do the walkthrough. Like, it was horrible. So I'm excited to play it properly and do it right, as I fell in love with the game just through that, which will be very, very good. It is August 8th.
Oh, yeah.
Last year, I had this tradition I had at the old place where I'd always play a little snippet of the song August 8th by NoFX. And I forgot last year on August 8th. So I thought I would just make sure we could play a little clip right now for you to enjoy a little bit of NoFX on the air without getting copyright stricken. So
Very
hopefully this will be
important,
the
yes.
just a little amount. Let's go ahead there, Phenom. Let him know. You don't have her ear. Really popping that hand is going. August 8th. It's a beautiful day. So I
Although
want to
it's
make sure I got that out to get the good karma from that.
It's not. Today was kind of. This is the worst thing. Like the weather. We're going to talk about the weather for a second. Did you get woken up by that storm last night?
I was up the whole time, yeah.
Man, just the thunder and the lightning and the rain. And then this
Crazy.
afternoon, it was doing it again. In the afternoon, like, oh man, I'm going to lose power again. Because I always lose power when the thunder goes and then my lights go out.
Not good. No way to live.
Man, and you know what I was doing when my power went out?
Playing a game.
I was. You know what game I was playing, Gary?
Something that you needed a really big save for.
I'm not going to say the F word. I'm not.
Good.
I'm not. I was
for you.
playing fucking Blitzball.
Oh.
I hate Blitzball. Oh.
Final Fantasy X?
I've been playing Final Fantasy X. We had a couple of guys on the Twitch stream that
Yeah.
suggested, Brando, you got to get into it. You got to do it. And so I'm giving it a real honest to goodness try. And I've reached the end game.
Okay.
And I know full well that I could just march right up to the final boss and just slap its face off, and that would be the end of the
Powered
game.
up.
But there's so much side content at the end that's like locked behind something that I can't figure out. So I've been going for like all week just trying to.
Oh, no.
I've been grinding and playing Blitzball, and
He hates Blitzball.
I hate
He hates
Blitzball.
it. It's like the Hogwarts thing with the guys on the stick.
Quidditch.
Yeah, it's
You know,
like Quidditch, but Final Fantasy.
It just sucks, and and I'm in the middle of a tournament. It's gonna be so good. I'm gonna win. I'm finally gonna get Waka's attack reels. I don't even know what they do. I've never seen them before. Power goes out.
No way to live, man. So August 8th isn't quite as beautiful of a day for you as it is for other people.
There's lots of day left,
That's
and
it.
I think that it can only get better from here.
We're going to do it for NoFX. Do it for Fat Mike. You know?
We're gonna do it. And it's gonna be a really good time. Let me ask you a question.
Lay it on me.
So we beat Final Fantasy VI.
Yes.
It took us 10 weeks.
It's a long
That's
time.
a long time, right?
Yeah.
First time you ever played through it on your own, front to back, seen the whole game.
Yeah.
What do you think?
Loved it.
Does it live up to the hype?
It did for me because you were hyping the whole time. You know what I mean? If you wouldn't have been a part of that journey and that quest, it wouldn't have had the same impact.
Okay.
But I'm a firm believer in I can get behind anybody who's passionate about anything. Like I can sit and talk to someone about paint drying if they're super passionate about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And you are so passionate about that game. So to go through on that journey with you, it really made it exciting and awesome. And I'm very happy that we knocked it off because it deserves a spot in one of those best games ever.
I like
It
that.
really does.
Very cool.
What does Phenom think? Phenom, real quick. You loved it. Look
Oh,
at that.
thumbs up.
That's
There
a
it
10 out
is.
of 10.
I
Very
like
well
that.
done. So, yeah, I definitely get why you love it so much.
He can't even show us 10 out of 10 because he only has 5.
You like that.
Man, I can't wait for him to grow up and have all 10, you know?
It's going to be a good day.
It's going to be a rough week, though.
There. Oh, there's our 10. He's got the fake hand. He's got the fake hand with him. That was very smart. Well done.
Got the fake hand from Spirit Halloween, hey? Just keeps it in there in case he needs to have extra fingers.
This is the gimmick that will never end, and I'm so grateful and happy for it. It is the August 8th edition of your show. We played the No Effects clip. We're doing well. And I want to play a little clip from the latest episode of one of the newest shows here on the network, Good Sports, with our guy Ryan Flaherty. And it's all about local sports. And he had our good buddy Simon Hyatt on. And they had a good talk about some local sports stuff. So we're going to play a little bit of that for you today to give you a little taste. And then you can go check out the whole new episode on the network. And we're going to do that for you right now. It even comes in really cute. Watch this. It's got a little splitter for Good Sports. Take it away.
Good sport.
All right, well, we are just off of a long weekend, of course, and that means that the summer sports season is starting to get towards the tail end. And what better time than to check in with someone who's very involved with the summer sports season here from the sidelines here in Saskatoon. He's been very involved with the local sports scene for a long time, longer than me for that matter, and a fellow broadcaster and friend as well, and here to chime in on some summer sports and also add his picks to our best of Saskatoon from this quarter century. No pressure. Simon Hyatt.
Hi.
A
Good to see ya.
friend of the network.
Yep.
Friend of the mothership.
My third show that I've been on, I was just talking with Gary, and I'm just going to keep on adding to that total. I want to be on the book review show. I want to play video games. I want to do them all.
He wants to be a brand ambassador.
Thank you.
For the Dufferin Avenue Media Network. Yes, Simon, for those who don't know, well, I guess we've known each other about 10 years or so.
Yeah, whenever you started your Saskatoon career, we would have met because I would have been I don't know if I was a sports reporter at that point or if I was the general reporter. But yeah, I was at what was Shaw TV, is now Rogers TV at that time. And so covered a lot of sports either way. You know, one of the great things about that gig is we kind of all got to do a little bit of everything. So yeah, we would have met around the time you started your career here.
I always, even though you're obviously correctly point out that you did a little bit of everything, but I've always thought of you as a sports guy, even though you did great community reporting as well. I don't want to overlook that, but this is a sports show, so
let's
I'll lean into
sports.
that. But and that's the capacity that I've generally known because I was a sports reporter, so we would run into each other
Absolutely.
at sports events. Understandably, that would be how the job works. And then you used to do Husky basketball. I kind of moved into that. After you had stepped aside from that, and we get the privilege of calling Rattlers games together too, which is a ton of fun. We've done that for the last few years. We're going to talk some Rattlers,
Let's do it.
but you're also a familiar voice to anyone who's been at a Saskatoon Berries game the last couple of years. You're the PA announcer for the Saskatoon Berries, and so we're going to talk about both those teams, but given how one is done versus the other, I figure, it's the old compliment sandwich kind of version on this show where we don't want to start with the down. We want to start with the high here.
Yeah.
Compliment sandwich, I guess you could call it. So let's talk some Berries because, man, what a year for the Berries.
Just an amazing year. It's been so much fun. And, go back to the first year in the league, which was just last year. They were a good team. They made it very close to getting to the championship series. They lost in the final game there. And so you thought, a lot of the same guys were coming back this year. So man, that's a good core to build around. And but yeah, what they have done this year, I think, far surpassed what anyone could have expected. Perhaps other than Joe Carnahan, maybe he's the mad genius. He and Hilty that built this crew. It's been incredible. The all-time record for wins in a season. They set it on the weekend.
They did, as we touched on in what's going on earlier, yes. And they didn't even need to play the full schedule to set that record because they had their final game wiped off. They didn't need to play it. There was a rain out earlier in the year that they didn't need to make up because there was no mathematical reason to do so. But you're right. It's been an absolute wagon. Joe Carnahan, I think, is an interesting figure to me. And I should also mention, I mean, if you don't know, this guy's baseball.
That's my jam.
This is his sport. Of all the sports, you're one of the most hardcore baseball fans that I know. But Joe Carnahan, I know, like, he just kind of quietly has had this team at the top right from pretty much, well, they lost their first game of the season, and then it's been pretty much all wins ever since. But, you know, I think part because the league of the prominence of the league, but also just Joe doesn't seem like the guy who has any interest at all in receiving any credit, taking any credit, getting any sort of spotlight. But he's the guy that basically put this team together and has coached them to this insane record as they head into the playoffs.
Yeah, I would agree with that. And you're right about his personality. I mean, you know, he's not a super fiery guy. You know, if an umpire blows a call,
well,
he'll get out there and let the umpire know.
It's in the DNA.
I think you might have gotten that wrong. But if you're just chatting with him before or after a game, very, very quiet, very soft-spoken, very calm, very nice man. The juggernaut that he built this season is truly something to behold.
I find coaching very interesting in baseball because it's not a sport. I mean, obviously there are plenty of managerial, like, strategic decisions for the game, but it's not an X's and O's, you know, scheme up.
You're right.
Type of sport where the coach can have sort of an outsized influence on the play as it happens. Mm-hmm. But what they do is they assemble a roster, and then they put those players in the best positions to succeed. So what has it been about the mix? I mean, obviously they're a very talented team, but has he done anything in your mind that has really set them up for the success they've had? Like what has been sort of the magic mix for Joe?
Yeah, I mean, I think I sort of stumbled my way through this on one of the other shows that I was on here, where what ended up coming out of my mouth is the pitching is good and the hitting is good, and they score more runs than the other guys.
Hey, this is a very John Madden level of it.
What I was trying to say was that the offense is amazing, just great hitters, and it's a pretty complete lineup, top to bottom. You know, they don't run super deep. It was actually interesting for anyone who either watched Les's call of the game just on Monday, on holiday Monday, or was at the game. We actually got to see some of the AP guys.
All the Cubs.
Yeah, exactly. The guys who haven't gotten a chance to play, they got their chance and actually pulled out the win for the 46th win of the season for the Berries. But, you know, he kind of has his core guys. It's been great hitting and good pitching. This is a team that's, if it's going to win, it's going to hit its way to winning, which I guess I think is kind of typical for this league. I think usually the hitting is a bit ahead of the pitching in the WCBL.
Not a lot of 2-1, 3-1,
not a ton,
2-0, 4-1 games.
One of the interesting things here down the stretch is, you know, the Berries. You mentioned they lost the first game, then just went on this incredible tear. It looked like they weren't going to lose a game at home all season. Like we were like, can they actually run the table? Yeah. Then they ended up losing 3, which was unfortunate. But I mean, it's baseball. Teams don't go undefeated. You know, there's the old saying in baseball. Typically, you win a 30-year games, you lose a 30-year games, and what you do with that middle 30-year games is going to determine your season. The Berries have won way more than 2/3 of their games. They really are pacing the field in the whole league, but it's been impressive to watch, and I think the thing that's going to be interesting to see is can they keep that momentum going into the playoffs, because obviously baseball playoffs it's such a different thing, you know. I think they can. I think they have the talent, but you know, we're talking about potentially 3 best-of-3 series. Where you're guaranteed you're playing one of those games in hostile territory. Mm-hmm. it's a whole new thing. That this regular season has been great, but I think the goal, as it should be for every team, you got to win that title.
The margin for error is so much thinner when you can only, they didn't lose back-to-back games up until very late in the season. Just here in this last week was the first time they lost consecutive games all year. Well, of course, when you only lose 9 games all season, you're not going to lose very many in a row. But this is a scenario where you don't even have to lose 2 in a row. You lose game 1 and game 3 and you're done. So you mentioned the hitting, because I do want to talk about playoffs in a moment, but
Absolutely.
the hitting, that jumps up to me too, I think, because if you look at, the league leaders in the various categories and things like that, like the Barry's names are all over most of the hitting categories, and it's a number of different players.
Yeah.
But pitching-wise, other than Matt Whitney being tied for the league lead in wins, and that's part, you can talk all you want about the value of that stat for a pitcher, but it does reflect the team's success. But really, like, there's no one that's throwing up tons of strikeouts or just like crazy low ERA.
Nope.
But it's that crazy, that lineup is just, like, I have some of the numbers here in front of me, like Ethan Menard, 392 batting average. That's after cooling off in the last week or so. He was at about a 410 clip for most of the season. Carter Beck, 385. Both those guys combined for 21 homers and over 80 RBI. Ethan Murdoch, he's hitting 325. He's got 53 RBI. Corey Waters, another 12 homers, batting 363. So yeah, like, and those are just 4 guys. There's other guys too. I mean, they just had the walk-off, the name of the
Mason Rowell.
Mason Rowell, thank you. He actually had the walk-off hit in both the last 2
he did.
wins, right? So actually, before we go further, I want to talk about that because you were there for that game on Sunday. That was the record setter, the 45th win. And there's not many more dramatic ways to get it. Maybe you could take us through that, because it went to extras, and Medicine Hat actually went up, 10-7 in the 10th,
they were up
right?
3. And it's the situation you dream of when you're a kid playing ball in the backyard. Yeah, the Berries fell behind early, came storming back, tied it up. It's like, all right, we're all tied up heading to the 9th. And then Medicine Hat scores 3, and it's like, oh, all right. Well, I guess we'll have to wait for the record until Monday, maybe. And then because it was extra innings, like in Major League Baseball in the WCBL, you get the courtesy runner.
Right.
So they got a 2-run shot, and then they loaded the bases, and Mason Rowell came up. And it was also one of those situations where they intentionally walked someone ahead of Mason Rowell. I can't remember who it was at this point. It might have been Abian Medina. So he comes up with the bases loaded, and you're just like, I think there was 1 out, because when he hit the ball, and it was like a high shot. It was like, you could tell it was deep. So my first thought is, oh, okay, sacrifice fly. We're going to tie the game. Great. Then you see the outfielder turn around and, like, with his back, it's like, oh, this might be an extra base hit. Maybe they'll get the win. And then it just kept on going and going and going. And one of the really fun things for me, because I am the public address announcer, I don't do play-by-play for that. The excellent Les Lazarick does play-by-play. So good old Les. I like to mention him in every appearance. But because just in the last few games, the home runs have been a sponsored element for the public address announcer. So as the players rounding the bases, I say, I won't mention the sponsor, but this is a home run brought to you by blah. And so into the PA mic, I got to say, this was a grand slam walk-off home run sponsored by blah. And that was really cool. I will save that clip forever.
Yeah, I mean, like you say, those of us who didn't play sports at high level now, but we get to call them. That's what we savor, right? Is the chance to bear witness to moments like those and help to translate them as well. And
now,
bring
make no
them
mistake, you and I are both high-level athletes.
Well, it was the knee, right? It was just the bum knee.
And politics.
I would have been Gretzky if not for the knee. Yeah. The Gretzky of water polo. They called me. But nope, not gonna happen. But no, those are very cool. So we gotta get the score right then. So the final score was 13-10 then? Because I looked online, it says 14-10, but I was trying to figure out through the box score after the fact, and it was very confusing because I was like, I think he hit a grand slam.
I believe it was 13-10.
Okay, because the final score they listed 14-10, and I was like, but it looks like it was a tie. Anyway, The point is, it was a grand slam
was
to
a
win the
grand
game.
slam
Whether
to
it was
win.
13 or 14-10 doesn't really matter in
Yeah.
the final summation. But I wanted to go back to your point about the playoffs and how much of a different crucible that is, because I've referenced this a couple of times this season, and not as a way to sort of rain on the Berries parade or anyone to get, but you do have to kind of pump the brakes a little bit, because I think back to 2013 when the Medicine Hat Mavericks, who I was covering at the time, living in Medicine Hat, I think back then the season was, I want to say 46 games or something like that. It was a bit shorter.
Right.
But they lost, I think, 7 games all year. I think they were 38-7 or something.
Sure.
Very, very impressive. They were kind of like the season the Berries had. Everyone was like, Madison Hat, wow, what a year. And then I remember vividly they were hosting the final, one of the games in the championship series against Melville, the now defunct Melville Millionaires.
Right, yeah.
And they had a lead in game 2. They could have won the series. They lost. Melville came back and then won in game 3. And so for all that great regular season,
Yeah.
there was no chance. And then the
Can be
Mavericks
undone in a hurry.
next year won the championship with a not nearly as impressive regular season record, but they
Right.
won the games in the most important times. So
Well, it's the old saying of, I think it was Derek Jeter who said it, is good teams make the playoffs, hot teams win in the playoffs.
Yeah.
It's all a matter of what kind of baseball you're playing. And in all honesty, the Berries have played their worst baseball, still pretty good baseball over the past couple of weeks. The offense wasn't quite clicking as much as it had been. So I think that's almost the biggest thing that comes out of that Grand Slam victory on Sunday is they got the bats going. They got clutch hits, which, who knows how much of a thing you can strive for to achieve that. But I think it was really good that they got the bats going.
and not even necessarily one of the quote unquote usual suspects.
Yeah.
So that's always nice too. And even though, as you said, the lineup is pretty stacked,
They have
top
so
to
many
bottom, but
great-
that's not a name that you would first think of
Yeah.
when you're thinking of the guys who are just sort of the big stars of this team.
Yeah, he's one of the American import guys from West Bend, Wisconsin, which is actually very near where a lot of my family is from.
Oh, there you go.
So I've always felt an affinity for Mason beyond just the fact that he's a Berry. But it's a deep lineup, like 1 through 9. These guys, there's no real weak points in it. I mean, you look at the game we played on Monday. Jalen Freeman, who's back with his second season with the Berries, he had the biggest hit of the day. He had a 2-run shot, and this season hasn't been quite as good for Jalen as last season was, but he could still come through in those moments, and all around the lineup, and then the first few guys off the bench. This is a talented team.
Is there any? And again, I feel like I'm the jerk who's trying to pour water on this a little bit, but
Be the jerk.
I
It's
just
okay.
it's more about like the big picture. The one thing, and it's not even a concern that I would have, but is there any question about the record vis-a-vis the fact that the 2 worst teams in the league are in their division,
Right.
in Weyburn and Swift Current? That's 16 games on their schedule or something like that.
Something like I don't
They
know exactly.
absolutely beat the tires off, beat the pants, whatever.
Beat those tires
They,
off
they
them.
beat the cleats right off of those teams. And I guess it's a little chicken or the egg. Are those teams the 2 worst teams in the league because their records are such because they lost to the Berries a bunch of times? Would they be? But I just wonder, how many, of all their wins, how many are against quality teams? Is there any? Does that cast any doubt at all about their capacity to kind of roll here in the playoffs?
I mean, I think there's 2 things here. One is you play who you play.
Yes.
I mean, it's way better to beat those really bad teams than to lose to
Just
them.
like the Blue Jays the night before recording this, beating the crap out of the Colorado Rockies.
Exactly.
Because that's who you need to beat the crap out of.
All you can do is play the team that's on your schedule, and you have to take care of business against those. But at the same time, as we've said, it becomes a crapshoot in the playoffs when it's best of 3 series. They actually played quite well against the Moose Jaw Miller Express this year, which is the team they'll face in the
7-1.
first round.
Yep.
So, but maybe that makes Moose Jaw go, hey, we got nothing to lose. We're not supposed to beat these guys. There's something about going into a 3-game series as the underdog. If they could go in on Wednesday night and grab a win in Saskatoon, it could be scary. I don't expect them to, but it could happen.
It's the funky thing about that best of 3 where you go back and forth because all of a sudden you're the underdog and now you're hosting the deciding game if you win that first one. And that's and that Roswell's Park in Moose Jaw too is a bit of a bandbox. Like most of the parks are in the league are pretty small.
Yep. But
it is very intimate. And there's the one building kind of in behind home plate that kind of looms up a little bit too, and then there's a lot of trees out beyond the outfield fence, so it feels kind of small too. I remember watching Carter Beck hit homers there in the SPBL a couple of years ago at a game, but it does as a team. That's the favorite. There's obviously going to be some more pressure on you.
Targets on you.
Especially the season that the Berries have had.
Yeah.
I don't think they're going to have any issues with the focus of dialing it in or anything like that.
Either.
Plus, this is a team that eliminated them last year.
Yeah.
So there's a little bit of that too. Of course, that was in the East Division final. That in that scenario, Moose Jaw, I think, had the better record last year, did they not? Or
I believe
the records were very
correct.
similar, if not. Yeah. So a lot different situation this time. Moose Jaw coming in 2 games under 500 to finish the season. So very wide discrepancy in the records. And as you mentioned, Berries won 7 of 8 against Moose Jaw this season. So just to wrap up sort of the Berries talk, unfortunately, you're going to be stuck with me on Wednesday.
You and I are at the Rattlers game.
Which, of course, that game 1 is going to happen before this episode goes live. So we're in that weird netherworld where we're recording the episode before game 1, but it will not be released until the day of game 2. So we don't know. We'll just tell you that game 1 you can't go to by the time you're watching this. So should the series go 3 games, and hey, even if you want to travel down, if you're watching this on Thursday, you go see game 2 is at Roswell's Park in Moose Jaw. It's not a long drive.
Not a
you
bad
can get
drive.
down there. Nice little jaunt, 2 hours down the highway, maybe add 10 minutes on top of there, stop in Chamberlain for some ice cream. And then game 3, if necessary, will be Friday night.
And of course, we're also keeping an eye on the weather because there's a lot of rain in the forecast over the next several days, which could wreak some havoc. So
I'm telling you, I spent the long weekend out in Alberta, and the weather was very unsettled.
Yeah.
It was very off and on. Most of the rain happened overnight, which was good, but there was some pretty nasty storms too. So hopefully they get all those games in on schedule. Of course, this is the time of year where they can't really extend. These guys have places they got to be.
Yeah.
There's only about I think it's like a 3 or 4 day window beyond the scheduled end of the season where things can still happen before you start to lose significant bodies. I mean, if push comes to shove, that's where you get your APs, I guess. But hopefully we don't get to that, and hopefully the teams can play the games with their proper rosters and all that stuff. So very exciting stuff. Keep tabs on, of course, the Berries social media, WCBL website, Saskatoon Berries website for all the latest on their playoff progress. They said at the start of the year that nothing less than a championship. Joe Carnahan really said, I wasn't happy with last year, even though it was their inaugural season, and they had a great second half.
First year, Joe.
But in this league, as you see, you get a good team together. It doesn't take very long where you can go from expansion team to powerhouse just like that. It's a lot more fun than in the major leagues where it takes 5 to 8 years, Vegas Golden Knights accepted, to earn your opportunity.
Diamondbacks, I think.
Oh my goodness,
they got it in their
Marlins won a World Series pretty early. If we want to stick with baseball too, but it's pretty rare. It's pretty rare. Unfortunately, something else that's pretty rare is speaking of playoffs is the Saskatchewan Rattlers playing playoff basketball as we seamlessly shift from baseball to basketball. It has been another tough year for the Rattlers. I've talked about it, kind of every week on this show. Don't want to belabor the point, but it's getting, I won't say dire, because every year with this CEBL, you just never really know from year to year because of the player and roster turnover. But it's been this issue for the last 3 years now where the Rattlers can't seem to get to the play-in game, let alone into the playoffs. 6-15 as we record this episode. There will be a Rattler game Wednesday night before this episode goes live as well. That's where we're going to be on Wednesday as they host the Edmonton Stingers. But let's just look at this season and what have been your overall thoughts, just to start off with. As I kind of launched into the sort of the sad, but just big picture wise, what have you seen from the Rattlers this year?
I think first of all, before we launch into that, I'm going to propose that we record 4 different versions of this podcast. One where the Berries win and the Rattlers win. One where the Berries win and the Rattlers lose. One where the Berries lose and the Rattlers whatever the four.
Choose
companies-
your own adventure.
Exactly, and then you just release
Click
that
ahead.
episode,
Yeah. Oh, yeah,
the
yeah,
one
yeah.
that's correct.
Then we can have the alternate
We'll
endings.
just spend the day here. Yeah,
the alternate,
I love it.
The
Choose
alternate
your own
takes.
adventure.
The theoretical side of good sports. Yeah.
But yeah, overall impressions. I mean, it was interesting at the beginning of the year because obviously you and I talk a lot about the progression of the team starting when players start arriving, when they start building the roster. And one of the things that was brought in this year for the Canadian Elite Basketball League is you have the designated player, which is sort of like your franchise tag, and their money doesn't really count against the salary cap. So a lot of teams were able to bring in, and I don't know how public that information is for other teams.
Yeah, it's
I haven't really
the
seen
league
it.
it exists in a kind of a funny space where they're still growing and they're trying to emphasize all the positive things, and there are many positive things about the league.
Absolutely.
But some of the stuff that might maybe cast them in a sort of a more amateurish light, I feel like they maybe just keep that down a little bit.
Which
so
is fair.
A lot of the transactions, because I think they try to emphasize the players that are on the rosters versus the ones that are leaving, and that kind of goes hand in hand with that is sort of the player turnover and that sort of thing. So the designated player thing, they made a big thing out of it. But yeah, in terms of like who's the DP for different teams, you don't really know unless you ask them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there you go. Our main man, Simon Hyatt, joined Ryan Flaherty on the latest edition of Good Sports. It's always a lot of fun. You check out the full episode on the network. Every Thursday, we get a new one there as well. Today, another episode of Not That Kind of Book Club has been released, so you can check out Les and Ree and see what they're getting up to over there as the new shows continue. Here on the Friday edition of your show, hanging out with Uncle Brando, my main man, and we were just talking Barry's baseball as the boys took care of business and made sure it's going to a Game 3, dropping the first one, winning the second one. Game 3 is supposed to go tonight, but I am hearing through the grapevine that it has been canceled due to weather. Just waiting to confirm that. But the Berries, you know, that first one, you get that trap game, I like to call it. You go in and you lose, which sucks. And then that's at home. Then you go to Moose Jaw, you do it there, you do good work, you win. And now it looks like Game 3, which was scheduled for tonight, is going to be moved, possibly just waiting on confirmation. So,
Trap game is where you assume you're going to win because the other team only has like 4 guys on it, and then they somehow beat you, right? That's what that is?
pretty much, yeah.
That was the Riders and the Elks game from a couple weeks
There
ago.
you go, yes.
Right?
Everyone expects you to dominate. Like for the Berries, you're coming off a record-setting regular season,
Oh, wow.
and you're going to the playoffs as the best team ever to play in that league. And then, you know, it's just set up with all the expectations are so high, it's hard to live up to that. It sounds like they got back on track with Game 2.
Around here, this sounds like a banner year for sports teams being just the best ever. The Berries are the best team to ever play in the league. The Saskatchewan Roughriders are top of the CFL.
Yeah.
The Toronto Blue Jays are the best team in baseball right
Yeah.
now still, I think, right?
In the American League, yeah.
They
The Brewers
played-
are really hot, too.
They've played 100 games since last time we talked about
That's
it 2
true.
weeks ago.
Go baseball.
And then I'm sure that there's another team here somewhere that's just top of the heap. Like around here in our little rectangle of North America, we are kicking ass.
Great time to
Which
be a
is
sports
awesome.
fan.
Yeah.
Yes. So that is a very, very cool. I want to throw out real quick, as we got some stuff going on, and we love being topical and hyper local. Our friends over at Elmwood. I love Elmwood. Auntie Susie and all her pals over there always doing good stuff. My friend Jana with Elmwood sent me a message talking about a barbecue fundraiser going on. This is August 12th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. over at 2012 Arlington Avenue, right behind Lions Arena and the Holy Cross School there. And it's going to be a barbecue. So fundraising, very important, especially with Elmwood, as they're always trying to get new vehicles to give everyone the ability to leave their lodges and their places where they live, and always good things. So shout out to our friends at Elmwood. Again, barbecue fundraiser, August 12th is going on from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. over at the Elmwood, I guess main headquarters, you'd call it, right by the Lions Arena and Holy Cross there, which is very fun. I used to sock dingers in the baseball fields over there.
Ooh, I've never actually seen somebody that I know play there. I always thought, like, when I signed up for like beer league baseball, like, yeah, we're gonna play over there, and then that's not how it works. at
No,
all.
and they like
No.
recently upgraded those fields. They got home run fences now and all that stuff. Like it's freaking awesome. I
They're
threw a
cool.
knuckleball all the way over the backstop once.
You threw a knuckleball over the backstop.
Yeah, right onto the street.
Why did you do that?
Because I threw a perfect knuckleball in warm-ups, so my back catcher called for another one, and I just sailed it, and that's when I got pulled. I'm not a good pitcher,
Wow.
but it was fun to throw a knuckleball.
How do you what do you do with your hand? Like how do you
I should have my baseballs up here. You knuckle it. So you take a ball, and you get all of your fingertips right on it,
Okay.
and then when you throw it, you go like this, and you push like that. And the idea is to make it so the ball doesn't spin. So it just goes like this. It floats with the wind.
Well, you push it.
Yeah. So you're like, while you're throwing, you're doing that.
So it doesn't go fast, it just is weird.
Exactly. It goes super slow, actually. So much so that's why it's effective. Because there's no spin, there's no anything. It just dances, and it's really slow, and you think you got it, and it'll just go like boop, 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 boop.
Oh, it's like in Base Wars for Nintendo.
There you go.
Where you can
Exactly.
just you
Great
can
game.
control the ball
Great
in
game.
the air.
As it's going.
Oh man.
You load up your shotgun. Very fun game. So yeah, baseball's fun. Also, our friend Kendall and the team over at A Touch of Positivity, they got the pop-up K9 Massage Day going on at Bridge City Vet. That is on August 13th from 8:30 to 5 o'clock. So there's a couple spaces left. You can sign up at, send an email to A Touch of Positivity, PAWS-ativity at gmail.com. That's very cool.
Yes.
The 69 Wing Crew. If you haven't got your passport yet, get your passport. Bugsy's, Markham Mall, and Lawson Heights locations. They'll give you one of these bad boys, and then when you go in there, you get your different types of wings stamped until your whole passport's full, and you get to try all the incredible, fantastic flavors. I always just like to look for a couple ones that you never think you would try, like the Thai peanut was amazing. The cinnamon bun, amazing. The Sweet Escape, that's a honey garlic parm, amazing. Still waiting to try the Greekalo, a Greek buffalo. Very excited for
I
that.
guess that being good.
And many hot Italian, ooh, sizzling barbecue, smoked candy we had the other day,
Ooh.
which is unbelievable. That smoked candy bacon.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Drooling again.
Sounds
so get them stamped off. Once you get all 69, you join the team. You get the shirt. I did the 69 at Bugsy's with a super sweet Ruckus Cox shredding on the guitar. He's got the Legion of Doom shoulder pads. You see that?
Yeah,
I didn't notice that before.
Yeah.
Freaking amazing.
What a rush.
That's well done. Doomsday devices for everybody. So get the passport, get the shirt. Tuesdays and Thursdays, wings are over half price off, so you can really stamp them out there. You can also order on Skip the Dishes and Uber Eats through Smitty's. Just order a plain wing, and then in the memo, put in the flavor that you want to try. And the whole idea of this is to get you to try wings you normally won't do, because we all are so set in our wingly ways. Mm-hmm. Once it hits your lips, it's like the beer in old school. Once it hits your lips, you can't stop. The same with these wings. So all those incredible flavors. They got the mad scientists in the back putting them all together. Very, very fun. And you get to eat wings, and it pays off.
I like that.
So good. And our final shout out for today, superskillshockey.ca. That is where you can find our good buddies with Super Skills Hockey. They are in the brand new Martinsville Rec Center, set up upstairs, looking over the hockey arena ice surface, which is super cool, and it's futuristic. Like, we're talking state-of-the-art facility. Right when you walk in, it feels like you're in a spaceship. And they got different shooting lanes. They got the puck control area, as well as the ice treadmill. And they have coaches coming through from the pros all the way up to NHL, all over the place, Gage. All these guys coming in and doing stuff with you. And it is time to get your kids ready for hockey again. And this is the best way to do it. With our friends over at superskillshockey.ca. They got the social medias as well. We've been sharing some of those on the social medias that we have, thanks to our good friend Brooksy, who is our social media liaison.
Neat.
Is that right? Did I use liaison right there?
Liaison, yeah. It actually occurs to me, I was actually in that sports facility
Get out of here.
a little while ago to do an unrelated thing, and I saw all these kids doing the hockey. And I was like, what the hell's going on? It's not hockey season. Even
Very
I know
cool.
that.
That
And
place.
So I've seen that. That's an amazing facility, and they're doing good
It's
work out of
unbelievable.
it.
It's like West Edmonton Mall in there, man. They got like a golf simulator. They got bars and restaurants. It's super cool.
Yeah.
So looking forward to getting out there and doing some more stuff with them as they are doing it right over at the Martinsville Rec Center. If you got a business, you got a show idea, you want to be a part of this, you got an organization, a charity, something going on, an event that needs to be talked about, we can do it here. I try to stay above it. I don't like hiding, it's like Jack in the Box. Hey. All you got to do is send us an email. Get in touch with us, and we will talk to you back. That's what we do. And then we will go from there and we'll bring it all together. We even have a catchy song for the email, and it goes a little something like this. One. No, how am I going to do this? I was going to say hit it, because that's what you're supposed to do. But then, okay, hit it. 1, 2, 3, 4. Contact at dufferinave.com. There it is. That is the email. This is the theme song. Dude, crushing
We're pretty
it.
good at that. That's pretty good.
You know, people used to say, I can't sing. And they were right.
Yes.
But with you with me, I feel like we sing a little bit better.
Well, now that we both can't sing, you put two things together. It's the double negative, right? You get
That's
a
right.
positive.
2 wrongs don't make a right.
Although it does here, because we're both wrong for singing, but we're right when we do it together.
And then we send it off on 3. 1, 2, 3. See you later. Brando, just like old times. That was like phase right there. No sell. No sell in the email to the face. Updated website. My man Royal Anders got in there, got it all updated for you to enjoy. Super easy to maneuver through. That was the only thing I said. Just make it so a guy like me can handle it. And Royal Anders did. So very proud of that. Dufferinave.com. Check it out. It's got all the info you need there. We like to put a little spin on this one. The old Brooklyn bowling spin. There it goes.
Yeah.
And then tonight, the main event. 2 of those. It's happening. Twitch.tv/Dufferin Ave Media. That's where you find us over on the Twitch stream. We have completed the Final Fantasy VI run. It's all there for you on the network. Phenom putting those together, getting them out. Very exciting as not just playing the game, but performance art as we were voicing all the different characters, which was a lot of fun. I want to ask you real quick, Uncle Brando, who was your favorite character to voice?
In Final Fantasy, it had to have been Kefka. That was
Always
a lot of fun.
is, right?
I really enjoyed doing the voice, Gary. It was a lot of fun.
And now when you played it before, did you do the voices in your head while you were doing it?
In my head, that's exactly what he sounded like, and that's
That's it.
fun. I'm looking forward to doing it. And Chrono Trigger, I think, will be a little bit different. One, because it's a silent protagonist.
Which you
So
love.
So our boy Phenom's going to have to figure something out to make everything make sense. And then other than that, there's only I'm going to say 5.5 main characters that we really have to worry about.
Yeah.
So you can really figure out what works and get in there. I think we're going to have this is going to be a fun time. I think it's going to be really cool.
A lot less voices makes it a lot easier for us to focus on them. Because by the end of it, I had Crimes and Gambler sounding exactly the same.
Yeah.
And I couldn't get out of it, Yeah. So it'll be very fun. Looking forward to that. Around 7 o'clock tonight, we will be adventuring into the world of Chrono Trigger, traveling through time and enjoying all the fun stuff that goes along with that. Be sure to join us, as it'll be a lot of fun like it always is.
I virtually guarantee we're going to fight a space butthole tonight. It's going to be great.
We do that a lot in these games, don't we?
I don't know what the obsession is with little floating orifices. I don't get it, man.
Apparently it was big in Japan at the time.
Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. We all went to the video store.
Yes, we did.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That's a all out of angst podcast
Yeah.
topic if I've ever heard one, hey?
Video store memories.
Yeah.
I wanted to start doing segments on here with CD stores and record stores, guys that used to work in there. My buddy Big C, shout out to my main man Big C. He used to work at CD Plus, I think, and he's got an old buddy, my buddy Arnie, who's trying to get in here, and the two of them come on and just talk about what it was like to run those stores because it was so fun and
Which
all that
CD
stuff.
Plus did he work at?
I think it was the Markham Mall, or not Markham Mall,
Center Mall?
Midtown.
Oh, neat.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
So that was, and he's got a lot of good stories. And I think the same idea would be with the video store guys because, oh boy, there's a lot of funny times coming out of there that we enjoy. Are your muscles ready to pump this up?
Absolutely. Here we go.
There he goes. Look at that. Yep. There it is, and it's about to go, and there.
Even with the rain,
I was going to say.
That's a great idea.
Sometimes you just got to let the rain flow. Beautiful.
And the maple bugs got to get in somehow, don't they, Gary?
You'll notice that when it's a little bit cooler out, there aren't in it. They're not as many. They are in here, but there's not as many flying around.
That's the truth.
So we got to enjoy that cold weather, keeping the bugs out of the way.
There's an upside to everything.
That's right. Focus on the positives. We say it all the time. A couple minutes left here on the Friday edition of your show. Anything else going on in your world as far as interesting things go?
Let's hit some serious news talk.
Oh boy, here he is.
Brock Lesnar returns at SummerSlam. How do you feel about it?
How
are you feeling about that? He's been
Saskatchewan's son right there, right?
Or Mooseman's own Brock
That's
Lesnar
him.
returns. There's another thing. There's another sports thing from Saskatchewan that's burning up the headlines. Named in a
Lawsuit
a
of some
lawsuit.
sort?
We're not going to go too deep
Nope.
into that, but
Yeah.
he's been named in a lawsuit. But the conglomerate that is WWE and TKO, they're the company that own UFC. They do a lot of that kind of stuff. They cleared him for a return to television on pay-per-view last weekend, and he made his first appearance. He beat the crap out of John Cena, and there's been at least a social media firestorm over it. Both people on both sides are saying, like, obviously, if he's back, he's obviously been cleared of something.
Of anything, yeah.
Or the other people saying, like, I can't believe anybody would do this, cancel the whole thing, burn them down, send them all to jail, kind of thing. So where do you come down, Gary? Like, what do you think?
When I look at this, the first thing I thought of had nothing to do with any of that.
No.
The first thing that I thought of was, holy crap, how did nobody know this was going to happen? Like,
No.
they kept it out of the dirt sheets. They kept it out of everywhere.
Hard
Like,
to
not
do.
even Michael Cole, the announcer, he didn't even know.
Yeah, he definitely let her rip on that one. Hey.
He really did. Holy S is what was shouted. And that was something that, in a world where everything's spoiled all the time,
Yeah.
to see that you can still get something through like that was very interesting. As far as the morality of it all goes, like, first and foremost, it's wrestling.
Yeah. It's-
Like,
for the wrestling, for the wrestling, for the record, wrestling, scummy business.
yes,
Like,
big
it's-
time.
everybody in it's a dirtbag.
Yes.
And that's just how it is. Once you reach a certain level, everybody's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
So accept that.
And
Your
that's-
hero's probably garbage.
Yeah.
At some point.
So in my brain, that's right there saying this is something. And then at the same time, it's like, man, this is really cool that Brock's back, you know? And being like Mr. Mooseman, and this, I feel like we had this connection. And then it's just the constant back and forth, man. Like, how much stuff are you willing to ignore to enjoy something, I guess?
Yeah. Like there's the separating of
weird.
the art from the artist.
We did
talked
this with
about
Hulk Hogan big time, yeah.
how much of that, how much can you ignore in order to,
That's the one.
and in this particular case, how much do you want to ignore to see Brock Lesnar versus John Cena again?
Yeah.
You know, we've got, 3 more months of John Cena in wrestling,
Mm-hmm.
as far as he's said.
Yeah.
And now we're going to use at least one of those months on Brock Lesnar.
Yeah.
Like, is that really what you want to see with I've actually become a John Cena fan over the last
That's
couple of
another thing,
weeks.
turning him back to a face, hey?
And
Apparently.
I thought that they chickened out on the heel turn too
Yeah.
soon. I was really
with ya.
liking it. I was really enjoying it. But
You had
Here
to
you
flip it back because Brock was there.
yeah.
So we get it.
Yeah. Everybody but me hated it.
Yeah.
So I see why they went back. You gotta acknowledge that
Yeah.
something's not working, and they can
fair.
just come out and say, "Yeah, this isn't working. We followed the idea of some crazy guy, The Rock, and we're just gonna not do that anymore because The Rock just did it and left, and nobody's happy with that." So here we are.
I think the biggest takeaway should be there's no way he would be on TV if they didn't take care of the legal aspects of all that.
That's what I'm hoping. 'Cause
Yeah.
like you gotta, even though they are like, I always assume that big companies are heartless
Yeah.
because they have to be to get as big as they get.
Yeah.
And that's just how wrestling works. And I'd like to think that because of that, they'd cover their own ass enough that they're not going to put somebody who's going to embarrass
Yeah.
them or tarnish the brand on television.
You can't just go out there and do it without knowing 100% that wouldn't happen. I'm with
Yeah,
you.
yeah. So,
So
with,
hopefully that's
with
all
any
taken
luck,
care
all
of.
of that
Yes.
drama will be not a thing.
I'm with you. Phenom, you want to wake up Frankie for us? And did your dad get back to you at all? He did. All right. What's the prognosis? No Berries tonight. So the
Aw.
Berries game has been canceled. That is official.
That's too bad.
Do we know when the next one's going to be? Okay, so they will reschedule that, and at that point, it's a win or go home game. So
Oh, dang.
winner moves on, loser goes home, and it's the end of the season. We will see how all of that works out. I don't got the feed coming through it. Ah, my man, I do now. Look at him go. Look at him go.
Are Barry playoffs like, are they a one and done kind of situation?
No.
Or are they like a best of
So
five?
these are best of
three?
threes, at least in the first round. So Moose Shot took the first one. Berries took the second one, and then today was supposed to be the third, but that will be rescheduled due to weather, as it's pretty greasy out there.
Yeah, it's not the best. They should do that with hockey too. Hey, would you? That's too big a thing to say when we have 2 minutes left. But I think the first round of NHL playoffs should be 3 games because we don't
See.
need to be in playoffs for 5 months. That's
But
just
at
me.
the same time, it's always been, that's the one thing that's sort of unique with the NHL is it's always been 7-game series
Yeah.
since the start. And with that, you look at like baseball has shortened up those first rounds. A lot of people have done that. But NBA and hockey's still sticking with the best of sevens. And when it turns over, man, when that calendar flips, it's like, oh, it's like a whole new season. Like playoffs in, especially the NHL, it's the most wonderful time of the year. It's awesome. So we could go way more into that, but unfortunately for us, our time is up for today. Another great week here, a short week on the network. Thank you to everybody who came through. Sales guy Derek was up in the house.
Hell yeah.
Uncle Mike, we had LB, we had Phenom. We had a 3-person Zoom for the All the Way Round Table with Coach Kamatu, Coach number 1, and Mr. Baseball Simon Hyatt. CTV's Matt Young yesterday stopping by. Always a pleasure. Johnny Factoid stepping in. We learned a bunch of cool stuff about Tony Iommi, which was very cool. And to you, my friend, for making it in today. Thank you so much. Phenom, you were amazing as always. We're going to get into some CCO here right away, and then we'll be back over on the Twitch stream, twitch.tv/Dufferin Ave Media, as we will be taking on Chrono Trigger. It's going to be Phenom's first ever playthrough, so it's going to be a lot of fun there as we will guide him as well as we can. And we may have even set it up for success very early, which is very nice too.
I think so, yeah.
I love that. And with that, no 13th Melon this week as the Riders are on the bye week. So it's going to be a nice little weekend around here. I got a nice little family reunion to go to and a hot Josh birthday that I'm very excited for. So we'll see a bunch of friends and family. It'll be very good. And then we'll be back on Monday right here on your show. So remember, karma's very real. Keep doing those good things and it'll start happening to you just like this place. Have a great weekend. We love you so much.
Bye, everybody.
Woo!